What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys subscribe. Don't forget to support your boy. Road to 5,000 subscribers. All right. So today, guys, I'm going to be going through a couple of videos with you guys. Again, my regular schedule about relationships, dating, social dynamics between men and women. It's going crazy out here, guys. You know what I mean? If you think dating was crazy in 2024, 2025 is even getting worse. When we left off 2024, the ladies were saying, if you guys watch so many Pop the Balloon shows, the ladies were saying even a man who's 6 feet is not tall enough. I kid you not. I reacted to some of those videos if you've been on the channel, right? Some ladies were even saying uh 6 figures from a man is not enough anymore. You know what I mean? In fact, now some ladies who have kids, single mothers, are saying they don't want to date men who have kids. In other words, they want a man who has no kids to come in and play stepdad. Yo, dating 2025 is crazy. So for you average guys, for us average guys, 5'8", average income, we are cooked. Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, no, Boogie, that's not the real life. That's just social media. I believe personally that social media is a reflection of what people think to an extent, of maybe what people want, you know, of maybe people aspire to be, you know. But also, now some form of social media is entertainment, clearly. But when it comes to relationships and dating, when women say what they want, when men say what they want, women are telling us exactly what they want. Now, she may go on, so she may not exactly tell you that she wants a $200 first dinner date. She may not say it, but she may say it on social media. But when it comes to you, she won't have to say anything. She will just maybe not text you back, not show up, especially if there's a guy offering the $200 dinner date. Because, guys, best believe that just because you are not willing to take that woman out on an expensive dinner date, first date, and you're trying to take her on a coffee date, best believe there are guys out there who are willing to do what you don't want to do, you know? But that's the dating game right now, you know? So I'm going to be going through a couple of videos and all descriptions, all full links down below to all the videos, to all the channels. You guys should go check out all their content. And the first video is going to be coming from Lapif Network. Shout out to them, because at least the reason I like the platform, because they bring women and men on a panel, which gives a chance to men to hear the women's side and women to hear the men's side, rather than sticking in the echo chambers. So the first video, this young lady right here came in and she was saying why women are the biggest problem in Western culture when it comes to you know dating and relationships and marriage. But obviously, uh Aisha had to fire back this one. Anytime a woman is holding other women accountable, best believe other women are going to attack her. That's just the nature of the game, you know. But without further ado, let's go.
We can all marry rich, right? We can marry a guy who's got it like that can take care of us. That would be wonderful. But some of us, we don't have that luxury. So we have to go in and hustle. And when I said that a lot of men like women like this, believe it or not, there are men who like strong-minded women. There used to be a thing in our culture called the power couple, right? Where you were really, really strong and he was really, really strong. He liked this strong headed, Miss Independent. There was actually a song out about it. I don't know if you know this or not. So, not to say that it's right. I'm just saying that those are some of the things that came to this point. So, that led to this point. That
I actually believe all these songs of Miss Independent, and she can do all by herself, things like that. I believe entertainers sing those songs for the ladies because they know women like to be lied to. Honestly, they don't mix. If entertainers, singers, artists made music that holds women accountable, they would not be able to make any shows. They would not be able to make any money. So they have to make music that panders to the women, that tells women what they want to hear.
She probably didn't know anything about.
I know about it. I know a lot about it. I've seen it too much. Trust me, I've been here a long time. And I've talked to many people in these panels about the same thing, studied it. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm giving my perspective as a person who is used to seeing you guys. I see you guys, I see America, and I see us. And I wonder what's the problem that you guys have that we don't have, and what's the problem that we have that you guys don't have, if that makes any sense. We have issues in our culture. Middle Eastern culture has issues. We're not perfect. But American culture has issues with the women's. The women is the main problem, but they don't
That's
realize it.
that's ironic. I was in Lebanon. I used to live there for a little while.
I
It's a
dated a
club
guy
called
from Lebanon.
Crocodile. You ever been there?
I don't go to clubs.
Oh, well, yeah, they had some hoes. They was on. Like it's not
I
just American
That's not our
culture.
culture.
That's just the club, though. She's talking about just the environment, the culture in general. For example, even in she's from Middle East, even Saudi Arabia, countries like that that have very strict, even Iran, regardless whether they have very strict Islamic laws, there are still people who do crazy shit. So his point is null and void.
Culture. That's not our culture.
But
There are hoes
they was
that
in
come
there.
to the
They was in there
country, like
going. I ain't
Asians.
gonna
There's a
hold
lot of
you.
Asian hoes that come there. That's not our
No, they
culture.
was Lebanese. I ain't gonna say the girl's name because I actually bumped back into them in Vegas. Like,
Okay, well, can I say something? Just because there's holes in every country,
Yep,
that doesn't mean that that is our culture. And I
true.
didn't say that America has
well,
the whole culture. I said America, the problem is the feminism that you guys have here that's teaching women that they are more valuable than they are. They think that they're more valuable than they are.
so
I mean, I don't know who told her that she can come and speak to American women like that because she's gonna get attacked. She might be a woman, but if there's one thing women don't like, is other women holding them accountable.
I just it said
I just don't
in
understand how someone, because where are you from? Lebanon? Do you live
the
in the U.S.?
globalization.
Amir, do you live in the U.S.?
Sorry, I had myself on mute. Yes, I live in America now.
It's just hard for me to listen to your perspective because I feel like it's not, y'all ain't right over there in your own homeland. Like, it's all kind of, I mean, it's not right over there. So it's like, how can you come over here and talk about something that we built? And what I just feel like you have no gun in this fight.
Okay, you
But she's talking about just the culture, especially with regards to relationships. She's not talking about, you know, the development and stuff like that. So, yeah, anyone would love to come to the US, to America, you know, greatest country on earth in terms of opportunities, but she's talking about relationships specifically.
you said that how can I come here and talk? I just
Yeah,
told
you
you
come from
that
a
in the
failed
Middle East we
homeland,
have our
sweetheart. You come from a failed
okay.
homeland.
Do you want
You
me to answer?
fled your country. You are no longer there.
Do you want me to answer?
You are no longer there. You fled
Okay, you can
your
keep
homeland, and you're now coming over here trying to tell us how to be. We got it. We got it. We gonna figure it out. We see how
Can I
y'all
answer?
live.
She's mad. I told you, like, anytime, um, because anytime a woman holds a, I mean, it's already bad enough a man trying to hold women accountable, but anytime a woman holds another woman accountable or women accountable, best believe they're going to attack her. Now she's disadvantaged because she wasn't born in America. She's from the Middle East, so they're going to attack her. But I kid you not, if she said something positive, they would be best friends. But now because she's calling out the negative parts of women, they are going to attack her.
I
Can I
was in
answer?
the military. I see how y'all living.
Can I answer you now?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So Middle East, we have lots of problems, trust me.
Like any other
But one
part.
thing we don't have is feminism. We don't have women issues like America does. And I've seen you guys. You guys cannot act like I don't see it. And we
Mm.
talk about it. Here, we don't have that issue of feminism. And I think a lot of American women think that feminism has brought them so much great things. They're so much better than the rest of the world women. But what has it really brought you more than just having ruined marriage, single parents? We don't have these issues in our country. Why?
That's a lie. Rising breakups and divorce in Lebanon mirrors socio-economic changes across the Arab world, according to Arab News. Beirut is a globalization transforming most aspects
I
of
don't.
modern
I
life.
mean, you're trying to read to me an article about divorces.
Kuwait, 48% of all marriages end in divorce, 40% in Egypt, 37.2 in Jordan, 37 in Qatar, 34% in the UAE and Lebanon.
Okay,
They say
but
the
like I said,
rate
That's still not as high as the 50% and sometimes even maybe 60% in America. So I get it that he's trying to defend, you know, the sisterhood, but she didn't say Lebanon was perfect. She didn't say there were no issues down there. She's just talking about specifically the just the relationship culture. That's all she's saying. There's nothing wrong with pointing out what's wrong with an environment, with the culture.
we
not
don't
going
have
up to
these
double
issues
over
that
the
you
last
guys
10
have.
years, so that's false.
We don't have the issues that you
It's
guys
still the
have.
worst. They be kicking the
And
people.
underage
They be
marriage.
stoning. They be stoning their women. It's all kind of
Oh,
things going on there. Y'all need to be worried about. You
that
over
we
here
throw
talking
stones
about
at
black
our women.
Americans that you don't even.
So
You
so
should really be thanking us that you're here.
so this is the thing. So
Thank you
I
so
would
much.
agree with her that there are some things that women need to work on. It does not
Some
take a rocket
things.
science to know that we need to work on things. But I think that was we're here to try to solve a problem, not to throw stones at each. We both have work to do. Nobody is better than the other one at the end of the day, because I'm sure Marcus can go and look at all the research of of the Lebanese, and you can
And I
say
was
everything
there.
about American, because we're gonna. So what's natural is we're gonna defend our own culture because it's ours, right? And it's gonna be a defense. So let's not even do that and just talk about the issues. So when you throw shots, shots will be thrown back, and it may not be a pretty place. So
I would
if
like
we
to
just
respond to you.
consider, but I will agree with you that we do have a lot of work to do.
I
I
would like to
agree with
respond. I just want to respond to you guys.
She didn't throw shots. She just called out an issue the way she sees it, and that's her opinion. But for you to attack her, I mean, I like the way this lady came across the situation rather than better than her and better than him. It's like if someone says, hey, you need to get in shape, you're not eating well, and then instead of saying, you know what, you're right, I'm working on myself and this and that, I thank you for pointing that out, you go straight to attacking them back. You are actually admitting guilt.
I never said that Lebanese culture is the best culture. That's not
Mm.
what I said. You guys are pointing that out because I'm Lebanese.
Yeah.
I said in America we have a problem, and you guys wanted to talk about my culture or my race. I said in America we have a problem. I live in America. I'm here. I'm not in Lebanon, and I see the problem. So I don't know why it turned into a race thing for me, but I didn't point out any certain race. I said America has a problem.
Yeah.
I ain't point out a race either. I said Lebanon.
Yeah, but you didn't have to point out Lebanon. You should have been, you address her point. If she said there are issues in America, just say, okay, I hear you. Or maybe even challenge her and say, what you're saying is not true. These are the statistics. That's one thing. But you quickly left what she's talking about and went to attack her and where she comes from. You already lost the argument. You already lost the debate.
This is
I
the
think,
same.
but the
don't
point
live in
Do
is,
y'all
Lebanon.
disagree? Do y'all
we
disagree with the statement that she
right.
Thank
No,
you.
I
making?
agree that
Okay,
he
so
he needs
then why
better.
why not address the statement that she's
Mhm.
making to say if it's true or false,
Yes.
Right.
as opposed to saying something about her country?
Because it's
Perfect.
juxtaposed as a critique
It's
about
just
my.
That's not true. That's
That's
not
why.
true.
It is.
No,
I
that's
heard it
not
that
true.
way.
So, for example, if I'm talking to you, like if I'm in a relationship with someone, right, and I'm telling them about something that I don't like about them, their response should not start being talking about, well, what you did was that's not a
Hmm.
productive conversation, right? So it's
That's a good fucking point, bro. And it happens so much in relationships. And that's what sometimes men complain about in relationships. Like when a man comes to a woman, he's like, "Hey, babe, you did this A, B, C, D," and she quickly goes to, "But you also did A, B, C, D." It's like, no, babe. For now, let's handle what I'm. If you really didn't like what I did, you should have brought it up to me. But for now, let's handle what you did wrong. Maybe accept for, take accountability. Then in the future, once we are done with this, then you can come tell me what I did wrong. Because I know I ain't perfect. But by you redirecting away from exactly what the issue is and you attacking me also, that just shows lack of intelligence.
important for us to get to the point, which was, do modern women have a choice? That was the question. Most of y'all really didn't answer that question, other than a mirror. And so the question was, do they have a choice? And they don't really have a choice because they have literally made it about the fact that they want a perfect man, but they don't want any other responsibility. That man does not exist. That's what we're talking about. And the research on this matter as it relates to feminism has been documented over and over again. I don't know how it's behooves anybody to know that the position of the feminism movement happened in the 1960s, right? We know this. And the sexual liberation movement, women wanted to be able to be thoughts without responsibility. Then you transition to saying, well, we want to have babies without having to be married, so that the government, this is all documented. And then it became a major thing in the Black community for sure. Black women have the hardest time getting married. That is a fact. That has nothing to do with Lebanon.
Facts,
The
man.
issue is that if we're talking about community, anybody that sees and studies a community does not have to be in the community to be able to pinpoint what is going on in the community. If I liken it to ESPN, there are several sportscasters that have never played, but they're able to give solid commentary on it. So it's
Fact, man. Shout out to Lapif, man. The reason I like this specific panel because you could see the differences in mindsets. She's over here saying what's wrong with the current, modern day relationships in America, and this lady and this guy go straight to attacking her, and then there's a voice of reason at the end of the day. But even this is why I said, even just in relationships, people are going to have arguments and do things against each other, but it's like, and this is why sometimes when men have issues in relationships, they don't speak up because they know the moment the man comes to his woman is like, "Hey baby, you said ABCD, I didn't like that." Some women are quickly going to turn the guns and be like, "But you also did ABCD, and even yesterday." It's like, no baby, let's handle this right now. If you felt that way, I understand you, but you should have told me that. But for now, let's finish this, because with that, we will never get solutions to anything, you know? So at the end of the day, I like discussions like this because we get to iron out our issues, and hopefully dating, going forward, relationships, maybe marriages can come back. I don't know, but maybe they will going forward. Anyway, man, shout out to Lapif. Link down below what you guys think. So the next video I'm going to be doing is this lady. Shout out to We Need to Talk podcast. And again, it goes back to the whole, marriage, relationships, feminism, dating, provision, providers, protectors, feminine, masculine, submissive. You feel me? But this lady was saying women should not be traditional anymore, and there's no love in marriage, and men must provide, and women should not consider marriage for love. Kind of agree with her. I not fully, because there should be love underneath a relationship. It doesn't have to be all about love. But she's saying no love, no money, no romance, pretty much. All right. So let's see what she says.
I think it's so interesting that women are expected traditionally under this definition of love to be the homemaker, to be the all-star sexual being, to be ever emotionally present. And what do we expect of men? Just like come home, put your briefcase down, be there, I guess. Like,
No, men are providing, they're paying the bills. I mean, everyone has their roles. I mean, if you want to be in the man's position to go and work all day and bring home the bacon, some guys will gladly take that position, and then they will stay home and take care of the house and the kids. As soon as you give birth, give the kids to the man, he stays home, you go work and provide. I mean, if you're okay with switching the roles, so men definitely do something.
we're not asking enough of men. And this is again where the conversation gets really touchy, because it could be argued, which is true, that men are having a difficult time mentally. There's this whole conversation about the male loneliness epidemic, which I find quite interesting and almost hilarious, because like,
Really?
oh yeah, of course you're going to be lonely. You've killed all the women. Like, what do you mean? Why are you complaining that you're lonely? But also, irony and sarcasm aside,
Yeah.
I think the male loneliness epidemic and feminism, these are all components that exist next to each other, because what's happening is the more women find their worth, the more they don't want to be around men. And men are like, oh, what about me? I want you to center me more. And it's like, well, men need to learn to find sustenance, entertainment, and sexual gratification outside of women, because we don't owe men that.
Well, I have news for you, mama. Men are actually walking away from dating and relationships. Because to the extent that some women are now saying men don't approach us anymore, men don't take us to dates anymore. Where did the good men go? So you're right. There's an epidemic of lonely men, but at the same time, there is beginning to be an epidemic of women wondering where the good men are, why men don't want relationships anymore, and why men don't approach them anymore. So at the end of the day, you are getting exactly what you're asking for.
And so when I talk about money, when I talk about expecting more from men, when I talk about the fact that I wouldn't date a man who isn't a provider, all the men who are on the complete opposite side of that, who harp on about male loneliness, they're the ones who come into my comments and they're like, well, this sounds really cold. What about love? This is all about love.
Well, so then, are you an advocate for marriage?
Yes, on the terms that the woman benefits.
Okay.
So,
And how does the man benefit?
what I mean by that is, if someone was to ask me, which I get this question quite often, would you ever get married? And when I give this answer, people laugh and it's like, I'm being serious. It's like, take me seriously, guys.
Okay.
I would genuinely marry if there's properties in plural, properties in my name, assets in my name. I want land, I want assets, I want properties. I'm not marrying for love just as an emotion. I'm marrying for love as security. I'm marrying for my future to be set good, the future of my children, for the rest of my life and their life.
Okay, so you want properties, guaranteed properties before marriage. Good argument. You have every right to want that. What's the guarantee that the man is going to have kids? What's the guarantee you're going to give the man romance when the marriage starts and it keeps going? Because for some reason you're always going to have the properties. So that's why for me a prenup would make more sense. It's like no one is guaranteed anything. You're only guaranteed something if this continues to work out or if it doesn't, which is something I like. Michael Jordan's prenup, apparently for every year his wife stays with him, he gives her $5 million a year. That's his prenup. It's not like she got any property at the beginning of the marriage, but for every year she stays with him and she doesn't divorce him, she gets $5 million.
Look, I may not always agree with Chidera, but I deeply value her perspective and where she's coming from. What she's talking about here underscores an important truth. Marriage, at its core, is both an emotional and practical union. Now, while love is often romanticized as the sole reason to marry, her emphasis on security, assets, and a stable future challenges us to think deeper about what partnership should actually provide. Now, love without security can leave people vulnerable.
True.
And security without love can feel hollow.
Can
The most
feel
resilient
you
marriages
can feel used.
strike a balance, offering emotional fulfillment alongside tangible stability. Her perspective invites us to reimagine marriage as not just a promise of affection, but as a collaborative investment in a shared future.
When I say things like that, people tend to have a very defensive response. And I get where it comes from because they're like, yeah, but this is so materialistic. What about real love? What about if the man you fall in love with is a man who is really poor and has nothing going for him? And my answer to that is, well, he wouldn't be the love of my life. At most, he could be my friend, maybe, but I wouldn't marry him because he can't give me the lifestyle that I'd want to live in. When I think about marriage, I think about, okay, if I'm 30 now, what do I want my life to look like in 10 years' time, 15 years' time? And how can I marry in that direction? Because the origin of marriage is about wealth redistribution. It is about a structure where it is a contract. And, how is of contracts? The person who drafts the contract is the one who benefits more. And patriarchy, men are the ones who are in charge of all of this infrastructure. So it's always going to benefit them. It's about
I First of all, I disagree with the last part. It's not true that when the marriage contract ends, the man benefits more. We have seen so many statistics, so many divorces, and we've even seen some men end their lives because of divorces. If they're not losing their kids, they're losing their property, their businesses, and so on and so forth. Imagine when a man who's paying mortgage for a house during divorce, he's kicked out of the house, now he has to go homeless. So the first part, I disagree. But where I kind of agree with her is like, because marriage is such, especially if the kid's going to be involved, I understand where she's coming from, that, hey, if you're broke, we probably shouldn't be together because being love doesn't pay bills at the end of the day. So, and this should be a message to even us as men. It's like, if you really, I get it. You don't have to be super rich to be in a relationship or get married. But if you're broke and you're also still struggling to build yourself up, there's no reason why you should invite in someone else that someone expects you to pay their bills as well. Because as men, we can't be delusional. Women want providers. Even women who make millions of dollars want providers. If you're lucky enough and you get you a Rihanna who's a billionaire like A$AP Rocky, then maybe. But those are few, very few women are willing to pay bills for a man and also, carry his babies. But from the majority of women, as men, we know women want providers. So now, if we know that, there is no reason why you should try to lock her down, especially if you're already struggling with your own bills. So on that part, I do agree. It's not at that part. On that part, it ceases to be just about love. We gotta be practical as men as well. You're gonna have to pay. Shout out to CGA. All men pay. You're gonna have to pay the price for marriage, and usually it means security. Because you are pretty much telling the woman, "Hey, leave all those guys who may give you a better lifestyle that you want or used to, and come stay with me in this 1 bedroom, 1 room apartment, and struggle with me, whatever, so on." Do some women have crazy, unrealistic standards? For sure. But on the baseline, you got to be able to provide something.
about just going for beyond the first guy who gives you a compliment and being like, well, I have to marry him because I've been swept off my feet. It's about understanding that you're deserving of compliments. You're beautiful. Like, men are going to flatter you all the time, but you need to do the picking and you need to make these men audition you.
Okay, and I'm with you on that, right? The part that I'm struggling with is the assets part, right? So, are you saying, let's say, for example, we have a gentleman who, let's say, is 25 years old, and it's a heterosexual relationship. You have the woman who has a higher level of education, makes more money than he does, has more assets than he does, but he's a nice guy, and he says he loves her.
He said.
What do you think should happen in that situation? And he wants to marry her. What should she do?
First of all, nice guys finish last. So before she even answers, that is the truth. Nice guys finish last. But in the scenario he gave, he pretty much, I would say, he gave a Rihanna ASAP Rocky situation. In that instance, I think the woman has to be in the mindset that she doesn't really care about a provider like Rihanna. Honestly, she has to be in the mindset of I'm not looking for a provider. I'm just looking for different qualities other than his money.
I think she shouldn't marry him. It sounds just going to sound so heartless and cold. I know people are going to be like, this is horrible. What do you mean? She's already got her own assets anyway.
Right.
He just, all she needs is just his love. Like, if I was in that scenario you've just described of, which I probably am really, I have a lot going for me. I'm successful in my own right. And that's the more reason why I'm always looking for like what's out there, what's bigger. There's always someone who's got more than me. I can learn from him. I can take his assets.
Right.
You
And
know?
do it.
But the issue with that is there are very few men in that bracket. Now you and every other woman want that small percentage of men who have all the resources, who have more resources than you. Let's assume you have $1 million. Now you want a guy who has 2 million, 3 million, 4 million and above. That's a very small percentage of men. Now you as the woman, you have to be willing to either go the Rihanna way with the ASAP Rocky. You're a billionaire, but you get ASAP Rocky who's just, okay rapper, making decent money but not crazy money. He's not making billions. Or you can keep hoping that you find a billionaire or a man who makes more than you. And I think that's the conundrum. Women sometimes who make so much money find themselves in.
So Chidera, the reason why I asked about that scenario is because that was me and my wife.
Oh,
That was exactly us. At 25, my wife had a master's degree. I didn't have a master's degree yet. She was working in a law firm. She was making much more money than I was. And she was wealthier. She had more assets. She had a higher net worth than I did at 25. And then we got married at 25.
that's really young.
And she did something that I know you're going to say was insane. I wanted to start a business and I didn't have any money. And you know what she did?
Did she invest in you?
She liquidated her retirement fund.
Shit.
Girl, where you at? Girl.
Yo, that's a unicorn. When people describe unicorns, I can guarantee you to find that kind of woman right now in 2025. I could give you 100 years and you may never be able to find the kind of wife this guy got. Man, shout out to them. Shout out to their wife.
She
Oh
lic-
my
she
goodness.
liquidated her. So all of her savings for retirement, she took that out. She took the penalty and she gave it over to me. And she said, all right, you want to start a business? Start it with that.
Wow.
Wow. That's a huge gamble to take.
It is. And I'm saying that I feel like, okay, maybe we're the exception.
Yeah.
But
you
the
are.
reason why I bring that up
Mhm.
is because that is an actual example of it working. And if she didn't accept the fact that I said I loved her, if she looked at my assets, if she looked at, if she looked at the education, I definitely wouldn't be here sitting in front of you.
I think that's the gamble high earning women have to take. It's either they wait it out and keep hoping they're going to find a richer man to find their lifestyle, but also be able to fall in love with him, or stay single. I mean, they already get the money, or gamble in a guy like him. On an average guy, doesn't even have to be average. Maybe they make more money than him, and say, okay, he doesn't make as much as me, but he's a good guy. Let me stay with him. And in some instances, have to fund his business and invest in him. So I think those are the three choices women have to take. And for us men, we also don't have so many options at the end of the day. I mean, we're the providers. It's like you either have to go with a woman who makes more than you if she's available, or you don't, and feel intimidated and just have to find a woman you feel will accept you the way you are at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, as men, we can only whoever accepts us is who we go with. At the end of the day, we don't have much choices. Unless you're Drake, you're in the top 1%, then clearly all women are gonna flock to you anyway.
I hear that, and at the same time, from the person that I've seen you to be, because like, I don't want to make you feel old, but like growing up, I've seen you on my telly loads, right? And nothing wrong with being old, by the way. Like, praise God for life. But like, why I'm saying this is, you would have gotten where, like, you're a determined person. I'm not saying that we're taking credit away from the incredible gesture of love and kindness and support that your partner put into you at that time. And there's been times when I've been with men and that situation, not your situation, but there's been a situation where I've outgrown and I've completely out earned him. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I can't do this because I know what's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna start feeling emasculated, and this is gonna start to affect me and us. So out of the love I have for you, I wouldn't need you to just go do your thing. And if it's meant to be, you'll come find me. Like, I'm not coming down from the top shelf because you can't reach me. I'm
Right.
so sorry.
But I honestly, I know women say this so many times that when they make more money than a man, he feels emasculated or intimidated is the word they like to use. I disagree. I believe a man only feels like that because that's how she treats him. I make more money than you, so you can't tell me nothing. I make more money than you, so I won't listen to you. I make more money than you, so I won't listen to you. I make more money than you, so I'm always going to be bringing up arguments, or even throw it in your face that you're broke, that you can't handle a woman like me. So that's when men feel intimidated or emasculated. Because there's so many women who make lots of money who are the kindest people. Have I met any? No, but I'm sure they are there.
So then, is it that you need to see the result before you see the behavior? So, for example, you're like the behavior that you're attributing to me, which I appreciate, is you're saying, all right, I was ambitious, which I was,
And you had
resilient.
potential.
So potential based on the resilience maybe and the ambition. So then, if someone's coming to you with ambition or resilience, or to anyone out here,
Yes.
they have those characteristics, but they don't yet have the
Money.
business,
Mhm.
the television shows, whatever. Like, they don't have the football team. Like, they don't have all those things.
They're not you yet.
If they don't have those, but they have that
All the components to get there.
to get there, then what's your opinion of?
My opinion is, when you've blown, come find me. And to
Wow.
expand on that, I always say, like, what one man is building, another man has built. And
This is a clear example of when people say that uh, women don't like losers. They wait at the finish line and pick the winners. This is it. Simply put, women don't like losers, loser men. They wait at the finish line and pick the winners. In other words, they don't build. So she's standing on the ground. She's like, I'm not building with no man. Go build, then come find me. But the question is, when he finally builds, is he really going to come and find you? Or is he going to get someone else who appreciates him? Or is he going to find someone who actually was there when he was building? Because chances are he's going to find someone where either when he's building or when he's done building, but for sure he's not going to find you. So those are the options, and I think people would need to think about when they are making such choices. Because let's say for us guys, sometimes, man, it may take you 15 years to build up. So at that point, are you even still interested in marriage when he's ready? Maybe not. But she's saying there are other guys out there, and that's the conundrum. But those guys are very few. The very successful guys that you're looking for, this percentage is so small, man. And it doesn't guarantee that they're going to be good guys. You got a good guy, he doesn't have all the money, but he has potential. But you are saying you'd rather go look for the guy who's already rich. It doesn't mean he's going to be a good guy, though. And if he's a good guy, he probably has a woman already. So, man, this is crazy. Anyway, shout out to this podcast. I'll put the link down below. What you guys think, comment down below. This was a very interesting conversation, about marriage, providing, and things like that. Very interesting. And I kid you not, some women out there think just like her, and like I told you in the beginning of the video, women's standards seem to be going higher and higher every year. Now 6 feet is not tall enough. Now 6 figures is not enough. They want you coming bowling like Drake. It's crazy, but that's the dating we live in right now. What do you guys think? All right, so next video I'm gonna be doing is Kendra G, man. Shout out to Kendra G. She had another show with this lady. She a divorced mom to 3, as you can see. And wants a new man to play stepdad and to provide. Let's get into it.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. I'm a girl mom.
How many kids do you have?
3 girls.
3 girls. How old are your girls?
How old are they?
Yes.
Now, 15, 4, and no, 15, 4, and 6.
All by the same man?
Yeah.
Have you ever been married?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I just outgrew them.
When did you get divorced?
I've been divorced for 8 years.
You have a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a baby while y'all were divorced?
Yeah. So when
once
we
you
split
start-
up, I started dating this other guy, and I had a baby by him.
You just told me all your kids are by the same man.
No.
Yeah, that's what you say.
No,
I asked you how many men. You said
I
there were-
misheard you. I'm sorry. I misheard you. I'm sorry. My
Oh, we got a liar. Red flag alert. I know she's a good looking lady. So some of you, wait, is that a tattoo right here? That could be a second red flag. Oh, shit. So she's a liar and has a chest tattoo? That could be a second red flag. But she's a good looking lady. So 2 red flags already. Damn, Nisha.
bad. Players mess up.
Please, man.
How many children dads do you have?
I have 2.
2.
2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So your 4-year-old is not by your ex-husband.
No, not at all.
Okay. You know they calling you a liar, girl.
She
They
is.
can call me what they want, but you don't know my life. I know mine, not you. But go ahead.
We know you just lied in our faces. Come on.
Well, we about to get in your life. So do you want to tell the truth? Because let me tell you something. Lies don't work too well on this show. Because either I'm gonna figure it out or somebody gonna call me and expose you. So if this is, I almost need to start saying in the beginning, do you promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Because it's gonna come out. Either I'm gonna figure it out, or somebody else gonna tell us. So you ready?
Go ahead. I'm all for it.
So when did you get divorced?
I got married when I was 18.
When did you get divorced? Just answer the question asked. When did you get divorced?
2020. 2020.
Oh, 2020?
Mm-hmm. We were together for 8 years total, though.
So you got divorced 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
She said 8.
So you got pregnant like as soon as you got divorced?
Like a year and a half.
Is your child gonna be 5 this year?
No, she'll be 5 this year.
So that means you got pregnant the same year you got divorced if your child's gonna be 5 this year, or you were already pregnant.
No, so we were separated, and when we were going through our divorce, I met someone else.
Okay, so you had it. So the 4-year-old dad, you was dealing with him while you were separated.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, all right. Why didn't that work out?
Well, it's a long story behind it. I went to Atlanta for my birthday, and his cousin stole my car and crashed my car. So we're just like, and then so basically, if I'm with you, if I'm talking to you, you're supposed to protect me, and I am your family. So you take your immediate family, and you took their side instead of taking my side when you bought me my car. So I'm just like, I can't deal with it.
Okay, all right. So we'll move forward. So Nisha Vegas, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. All right. So we got Nisha Vegas, 34, Sagittarius, is a care provider, mom of 3 girls by 2 men, was once married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Someone who's outgoing, love to travel, a workaholic like me, a family man, family orientated.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Liars, cheaters, gangbangers, pedophiles. I'm a girl mom.
Yeah, that's for you stepfathers, for you guys who want to go be a stepfather. She has 3 girls. That's a case waiting to happen. All she can say is he touched me and your life is completely ruined.
Should he look a certain way?
Athletic, slim, average size man. If you got hair, that's fine. I do hair too, so that's fine.
You do hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
No.
No.
No. You don't care about that. Let's do the Kendrick Amnesia.
How is he gonna provide for the three kids?
I'm tall, so.
How tall are you?
6 foot, you could say.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see.
You say you want a
Got that
slim
work?
man.
Are you going to work or coming from work?
You're not slim.
Going.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was your last relationship, Nisha?
My baby father. My daughter's dad.
That was your last? Oh, the 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
A month ago.
Where
is that
he at?
guy option?
He could be. There's opportunity there.
Okay.
Third red flag. So she's out here looking for a new man. She was intimate with someone a month ago, and she's saying he could be an option. So why don't you settle with that guy or try to work it out with the guy you just were with a month ago? Because if you're saying he could be an option, go try to work it out with him, and when you are sure he's not your man, then come on the dating show and try to look for a new man. That's just my 2 cents. Like, seriously, for me, that's a third red flag. Because now for the new man who's seeing this, you should be thinking, okay, I'm going to be one of the guys, because anytime she can go back to that guy she was just seeing recently, or to her baby daddies. So that's a gamble as the guy who wants to be a stepfather you gotta look into.
Could be. What are 3 flaws you have to work on?
Spending more time, because I work a lot and I don't expect nobody to do nothing for me and mine. So I guess spending more time.
Not lying, maybe.
Communicating more. Better,
not lying.
Because I shut down in a minute. Like, if you rub me the wrong way, I'll just shut down on you. And that's it.
How about lying? You were just lying to us like a few minutes ago. I can't believe she didn't mention it. Oh, shit.
Those 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I bring peace.
Peace?
I don't do the arguing and none of that. So I'm a peaceful person. I love going out. I love traveling. So if you have a passport, that's a plus.
Oh my God. Yo, this traveling, I don't know. I know some of you guys are going to call me a hater, but this is my opinion. Anytime a woman says she loves to travel and she wants a guy who travels, guess who's going to be paying for the air tickets? Guess who's going to be paying for the vacations, for the hotels, for the activities? Right now, she does that for herself. But when you're in a relationship, guess who's going to be doing that? You, the new man. So that's something to think about. She talked about she's going to bring peace. You're a liar, man. You're a liar. So I don't know if any man will feel peace if you're lying to him like that. But anyway, that's all I just wanted to talk about. React to. Shout out to Kendra. Full link down below. What you guys think? Would any of you guys be takers? Because she's a pretty decent looking woman, but she's 6 feet, so I probably wouldn't cut it. I'm just 5'8". I'm short, so she probably wouldn't go for me anyway. And I probably wouldn't be paying for our travels anyway as well, so I don't think she would take me. But some of you guys, maybe. So the next video I'm going to be doing is from Lapif. Shout out to Lapif. And women these days don't want a marriage like the video I did before. They don't want relationships. They just want to be single and free and independent. Let's get to it.
Everything and like how y'all feel about your futures, and it kind of makes me feel a little left out because I feel sometimes confused about what I want. I do know that I do not want to have kids unless I'm married. But when I sit and think about it, am I ready? Because I've been in a position where I almost got to the point where I'm talking about baby, and then I really think about it like, I don't know if I could be with this motherfucker for 65 more. I got to see his ass every day, 65 years.
And also, like, getting into involved in the entertainment industry really early on, everybody has Peter Pan syndrome. So it's just like, how do you
even choose?
Yeah.
But I feel like, can I offer for you? I think the modern woman gets to choose. Like, I think our mothers and grandmothers and them probably felt like they didn't necessarily get that choice, and they went the way of marriage and all the things because that's what it had to be. But because we are so non-traditional as women, we don't have to make that choice. It's not dire anymore. Sure, our uteruses have timelines, but even that there's a breath of fresh air in that, in the ability to freeze eggs and the ability to adopt or to create families in ways that are different and non-traditional.
Before they even go in, okay, you want to freeze your eggs, but that's not guaranteed. There's so many, because I heard that for all the frozen eggs, they have to fertilize so many to make sure one works out. So it's not guaranteed, and it's expensive. The average woman doesn't have $10,000 or even $15,000 just to freeze eggs. That's number one. Number two, you can't say you're a modern woman but want a traditional man to come and provide for you. Like, if you want to be a modern woman with modern relationship traditions, roles, then you should ask for a modern man. And modern men, we want 50-50. Fuck all that traditional bullshit. If you're gonna be modern, I don't expect you to cook and clean. Don't expect me to pay all the bills, baby. Let's be modern together. How about that?
Let's go ahead and hop into it. Talked about choices. Modern women today have choices, unlike our parents who had to marry off survival. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna start with you, Ty. What are your thoughts about modern women having these choices and not having to be held down like our elders?
I mean, they're right. You have a choice, but I disagree that our parents didn't also have that choice. I feel like the choice has always been there. Other women have just chosen to try to create families instead of only worrying about themselves. And then maybe waking up one day when they're 45 or 50, 55, and deciding at that point that they want to unfreeze their eggs and try to then raise a child. To each his own. Sometimes women can't do that, but I don't know. I hate that. I hate this panel. I think it's just, they all just sound ridiculous to a certain degree. My thing is, if you just want to stay single and keep doing you for the rest of your life, then do that. But know that time is going to run out and you're going to dry up at some point. And when that happens and you have no one to care for you or take care of you because you spent your entire life only worrying about you and not taking care of anyone else, then don't complain when that time comes.
I agree. Life is about people. Life is about relationships, honestly. None of us would be here without people who had relationships together. Now, I know it's the norm right now for people to just be independent and single and, don't care about each other, no community at all. But at the end of the day, just because you have a choice to wait and be single and do whatever you want, you're not guaranteed that when you are ready for a relationship or marriage, there's a man waiting for you. There's a woman waiting for you at the end of the road. Now, as long as you know that it's not guaranteed that just because you freeze your eggs, you're going to find a man who wants frozen eggs, as long as you know it's not guaranteed, then by all means, do whatever you want, be single, do whatever you want. So I think that's the conundrum. As long as when it's time for you to get married, you don't ask, where did all the good men go? How come men don't want marriage anymore? For example, you're 65, you're asking why men don't want you. No. You made a choice, and choices have consequences.
All right, go ahead, Trev. Modern women today have choices, unlike our parents who had to marry off survival.
You know what? I've been just kind of reflecting on what we're seeing lately with some of these individuals that are putting these panels together and stuff, and just women in general who are like this. And I'm trying to picture a world where these females could change, or if they want to change, or if they ran into the right man, that they would change. And in all honesty, it's starting to sound more stupid to me every day. Really, what we should do is just protect our seeds and stop breeding with this type of woman. Some of them, in all honesty, need to opt out or be opted out, forced out, exiled, just out of the dating pool. Like if you're gonna do the whole, and I hate to say the recreational use thing, but even that, we need to stop doing that. I think we should stop promoting recreational use with females like this, because the recreational use is what's causing them to continue to breed and keep this vicious cycle going. I think we should avoid those types of individuals at all costs. People have the right to do whatever they want to do. If they want to go out and, 304 it for life, that's fine. Let them do it, right? Just don't reward them by lying with them. Let them lie by themselves or intermingle with each other, like some of these modern feminists are talking about. Let them do that. Just leave them alone, because I'm starting to believe there's less and less hope for them, because the direction that they're going is not getting better. It's getting worse, much worse. Everything is a go right now. There's no morale. There's no benchmark. We don't have anything to regulate these types of females. And men are not allowed to even think about regulating these females. And quite frankly, I could never see myself ever desiring to want to turn one of these females, because of the damage that they've already been through. This isn't how females come out of the box. This is learned behavior from a lot of the trauma that they went through and the lifestyle that they lived. And I don't think they should mix with people who are not like that. I think we have to separate ourselves from them. I'll leave it there for now. I'm gonna let somebody get it.
Okay.
I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, I believe the reason they think the way they do is because there are no other women holding them accountable. So as men, you can say all you gotta say, all you want, but as long as her friends, the circle that she keeps around her, all agree and have the same mindset, nothing can change. She won't change. She will believe, and obviously social media hasn't helped either, because that's the message being spread, right? There is more, the message of being single and independent and don't need no man. It's stronger than the message of let's get married, stay married, men are good people, women are good people. I'm just gonna be honest. So that's the message is stronger of, because at the end of the day, it benefits the economy in a certain way, because if men and women are apart together and they're not staying together, or people are not being partners in any way, they are incentivized to spend more. Because if you have people under the same household, they are going to use, to spend less generally. But when people are on their own, they're paying two types of rent and things like that, different mortgages. But when people get together, they tend to spend less. So it works for the benefit of people who have businesses, but it breaks up the community at the end of the day, But at the end of the day, your choices, you don't want to get married, you don't want to be in a relationship, you don't want to partner up with somebody, that's on you. As long as at the end of the road, you don't complain. Right? So anyway, what do you guys think? Shout out to Lapi, full link down below. And for today's show, the next one is this young man. All right, this guy came to Kendra G's show. Right? He was a good guy. He had standards, but the issue was When Kendra asked him what type of woman he's looking for, he cast a wide net. He came from 27 to like 45. He even said he doesn't mind single mothers. So apparently, so many women went into his DMs. He had so many options, because he's a good guy. So single mothers were in his DMs. He happened to go out with one of the women, but she liked him so much to the extent that she came back to Kendra G's show to say that he's not serious or he was lying, this and the other, because he rejected her. He didn't want to be with her. He didn't find her appealing, and he moved on. But she was salty. She came back to tell Kendra he was lying. So he came back to Kendra to be like, hey, listen, I met up with that lady, but she wasn't my type. Things didn't go anywhere, and I left it at that, but she's just salty. But let's hear what he has to say to defend himself.
You in the video when I said, maybe he got all these options, and but did you see the lady that came up here and said that she didn't think you was really serious about a marriage-minded woman?
I was talking to someone from the show a few weeks ago, but that didn't work out, unfortunately.
From my show?
Mm-hmm.
He was on the show?
Yes, he was. He was the younger guy in Columbus, Ohio, that all of the women wanted. He was a good guy, supposedly.
So, why is he not a good guy no more?
It just didn't work out. I just felt as though he wasn't as serious as he portrayed on the show. That's all.
No, he was serious. You were just not his type. And that's okay. And this goes to the men as well. This is something as men, some men also have to learn. Just because a woman rejects you doesn't mean she's serious or she doesn't want a real relationship or whatever. You're just not her type. It is what it is. People need to learn rejection. So maybe this lady, this was the first time she has ever been rejected in her life. And I understand the guy was well put together, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, but she just didn't want him. He didn't want her. And then she comes back and she's saying he wasn't serious. Now, already, this tells me she's the type of woman who's going to speak bad about you when something doesn't go her way.
Or maybe, to his defense, maybe, I don't know what happened, because if it just, did he mislead you? Did he make it seem like he really wanted to get to know you further?
He did. However, unfortunately, from the show, of course, you get so much attention from the show. So I think because he got so much attention from the show, he wasn't ready to settle down with just one person.
No, he wasn't ready for you. That's the thing. You liked him. That's okay. Understandable. But he didn't like you back. So he didn't sell you any dreams. You guys went out one time and that was it.
In my opinion.
I can't make him a bad guy for that, though.
No, I don't think he's a bad guy.
You said that you don't think he's as serious as he portrayed to be.
Yeah, I just think, and that should be part of the type of man that I want as well. I just think that you should be a person of integrity. I think your words should match your actions. So he's not a bad guy, but I'm sorry.
Did you guys ever meet in person?
We did.
Did y'all get intimate?
No.
Okay, good. I'm happy you didn't. You're not lying to me?
No, I'm not lying.
Okay. Could this be an option? Maybe he just wasn't that into you?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but if your words have to match your actions. So your words can't say that you're into me.
2025, ladies, here is the deal. Follow the actions and not the words.
Exactly. I think the show got to his ego. And yeah, I think it got to his ego.
How do you know? Just because he didn't want you? He just didn't want you. So for you to come back on the show and you're attacking his character, trying to mess up his options with other women, because all she's doing right now is what they call character assassination. She came back to the show not to look for a new man, but to assassinate his character so that other women don't want him, so that other women lose out on a chance with him the way she lost out. He didn't want you. That's okay. Men get rejected every single day. He didn't want you. The only thing maybe he didn't do is to tell you directly that, hey, you're not my type. Because if this is who you are, that when something doesn't go your way, you go on a public platform to trash the other person because then you didn't get your way, that's already a red flag.
That's my opinion.
How
Because
long did
he
y'all
would.
communicate? Why do you say it got to his ego?
I say it got to his ego because the man that was depicted on the show, in my opinion, was different. Because if you say you want genuine love and you want to build life with somebody, you wouldn't be entertaining hundreds of women. Like, but that's the problem with the show. I met him on the show, so of course that is to be expected. But at some point, when are you gonna make a decision? He couldn't make a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is actually why I wanted to come on and stuff. Like, I didn't want to, you know how like you give like second chances as far as like doing the show again and all that. I didn't specifically want to do that. I wanted to address something about that. Now, as a black man, like I see a lot of discourse and honestly disrespect between black women and black men that we often levy upon each other. So I'm not gonna directly address this person personally or go at them as far as anything that would happen. But when it comes to talking like publicly about people's character and stuff like that,
Yeah.
there was just something in particular that I wanted to address. So her claiming that like I'm not a marriage-minded person was one of like the craziest lies you could actually tell about me. And the reason why I wanted to come on the show is because I wanted to show specifically why that's a crazy thing. So all of this right here,
Yeah.
from 2014 until 1/20/2025 are all letters that I've written to my future wife. I wanted to say that because I just wanted to let people know, especially people who like women who were interested in dating me, that that person's experience and how she felt about me versus what actually is me and who I am are two very different things.
Okay.
Now the guy has to come on a show to help his reputation because a woman he rejected attacked his reputation, his character. You know, now the whole thing with the letters, love letters. I mean, that's him being a Casanova. But either way, you know, he has to defend himself because if she rejected him and he came on the show, Kendra would just simply say, "You're hurt. She didn't want you. Move on." But now a man has to deal with a woman assassinating his character.
Two things. Do you want to share how many women reached out to you after you came on our show? You were a very popular guest.
That actually reached out, probably like 100.
100? I thought you had thousands.
No, so like about like 1,000 people followed me, like just because so when I first did it, I wasn't actually like super familiar with your platform. I had just like seen it being reviewed and stuff like on a podcast called SBC Nation. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's cool. It's about to be like super fun and stuff. I want to check it out. And when I did it, I was like, okay, it's cool. It's no problem. Like, it's going to be fun. And I was expecting people to only contact me on the app the same way that you tell them to. And that was not the case. So that was the part that made me just go, okay, this is overwhelming because like, luckily I had my messages turned off. So like, you can't message me unless I follow you back on Instagram. But like 1,000 women followed me in like a week. And I'm a very private person. So like, that was just like, whoa. But that's really like the only like part as far as like her saying like I was overwhelmed and stuff. It was just like weird to have like that many people have their eyes on me at one time.
Well, I told you to stay within a certain age range, but you ain't want to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to give it a chance, and that was the first time I've ever actually done that, and she might have ruined it for everybody. So,
well, this is what I will say, and I say ladies do this sometimes. Sometimes you might not just be the one,
yeah,
right? So if he's not giving you the energy, but I did try to defend you because I was like, we can't say he's not marriage minded because y'all didn't work out. I didn't think that was unfair. You seem like a gentleman. I have a question that I asked her that I wanted to ask you because some people felt as though this must have happened for her to be this emotionally let down.
No,
Yeah, so y'all never got physical.
no.
Okay. So they both said no. A lot of people thought maybe I really did get physical, and that's why she was so hurt. But I think that, ladies, you gotta stop saying if a guy doesn't pursue you longer, it doesn't mean like it means that he doesn't want something serious. It could just.
I mean, ladies do it all the time. Matter of fact, ladies will, and a woman will let a man take her out on 3, 4, 5 dinner dates, expensive dates. He's spending his money, and then she just ghosts him. But you know what they tell the guy? Move on. She didn't want you. The man has been putting this money, planning, doing all the nice things, flowers, all that, and then she just disappears. And the man is supposed to take it. So the same thing, ladies. I understand you are used to getting so many guys hitting on you. You pick and choose who you want to go out with. You pick and choose who you want to ghost. You pick and choose who you want to talk to when you want to talk to them. But guess what? Sometimes men have the choice, and he seemed to have the choice. The ladies wanted him. If he doesn't want you, that's okay. You move on. Just because you go out with someone, you may not be compatible, and that's okay. You move on.
To me, that y'all just might not be a match.
I'll say, like, as far as like her being like upset like to that extent, I think it's more along the lines of like how I date, because like my style of dating is like a little bit different than like from what I understand a lot of women are used to these days. Like, I pick flowers for every single date I go on. I try to make sure that I'm creating a date in like an atmosphere that's lenient more towards what she likes and stuff like that. So like I'll try like doing different things that she likes versus stuff that I like to do, or like stuff that may have been mutual and stuff, just to like get where her head's at. I'm a very good listener, and I like to pay attention to what actually is coming out of like the person's mouth I'm speaking to, and then I go from these things to make sure that I'm basically doing well as far as like genuinely dating her and getting to know her instead of just playing around and playing games and stuff. Because like I was nervous, so I didn't say this because of the first time I came, but like I genuinely am looking for love, and I want to find the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
So now,
okay, so I see where the issue is. Because so many guys have caught on with the whole flowers and expensive dinner dates, stuff like that. So some guys don't do that anymore. So maybe in her case, because she had not, obviously she was attracted to him, and maybe when he brought the flowers and things like that, maybe she took it that he likes her. But he's saying that's something he does for every woman. He's a gentleman from the start. So I could see why maybe she thought the treatment was they liked each other, But anyway, man, full link down below to Kendra. Shout out to you guys. I just wanted to come on here and just go through these videos with you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Road to 5,000 subscribers. What do you guys think? Comment down below. What do you guys think about the whole dating culture, dating environment going through 2025 and beyond? For me, the conversations will hope. That's our only hope, if men and women both talk to each other. But other than that, because women's standards seem to be going higher and higher with every single year, now men who are 6 feet are not tall enough. So now they want 6'5" and 7 feet. At some point, maybe they'll want 8 feet. Now men who make 6 figures is not enough. At some point, they're going to start saying, actually, some of them already started saying they want only millionaires, right? So even women who have kids are saying they don't want men who have kids. So they want a man who doesn't have kids to come play stepdad. So their standards seem to be going high and high and high. And some guys are like, you know what, to hell with this. I'm done with dating. What do you guys think? So shout out to you guys who watched through the whole thing. Till next time. Peace.